प्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णे स्वदामो भगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सकलो नष्टदृशाम् एषा पुराणार्को अधुनोदितः श्रीमद्भागवतं पुराणममलं यद् वैष्णवानां प्रियं यस्मिन् पारमहंस्यम् एकम् अमलं ज्ञानं परं गीयते तत्र ज्ञानविराग भगतिसहितं नैष्कर्म्यम् आविष्कृतं तच्छृण्वन् सुपठन् विचारणपरो भक्त्या विमुच्येन्नरः सर्ववेदान्तसारं हि श्रीभागवतम् इष्यते तद्रसामृततृप्तस्य नान्यत्र स्याद्रतिः क्वचेत् य एतत् श्रावयेत् नित्यं यामक्षणम् अनन्यदि श्लोकम् एकं तदर्थं वा पादं पादार्थम् एव वा श्रद्धावान् यो अनुशृणुयात् पुनाति आत्मानम् एव सः कृष्णतुल्य भागवत विभो सर्वाश्रया प्रतिश्लोके प्रति अक्षरे नाना अर्थकया प्रेममय भागवत कृष्णेर श्री अंग ताहा ते कहेन यथा गोप्य कृष्णेरंग आदिमध्यांत्ये भागवते एकया विष्णु भक्ति नित्य सिद्धा अक्षय अव्यया भागवत शास्त्रे से भक्ति तत्व कहे तेनि भागवत समा को न शास्त्र न है हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. We are going through the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 15, from verse 6. Of course, we have read through all the texts till 28. We are yet to cover the purports from verse number 6. भूतैर्भूतानि भूतेशः सृजते अवति हन्ति च आत्मसृष्टेर् अस्वतन्त्रैर् अनपेक्षोऽपि बालवत्. So, in this, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master and Proprietor of everything, is certainly not interested in the temporary cosmic manifestation. This is very important. Uh, Sometimes when we see, okay, why did the Lord create all this for His pleasure? Is it so that He can make us puppets and He can play with us like He wants? And then whatever He may, why He is so merciless that He puts us into trouble for His pleasure? Here it is clear that the Lord has no interest. He is not at all interested in temporary cosmic manifestation. Nonetheless, just as a boy at the beach creates something in which he is not interested, the Lord, keeping everything under his control, causes creation, maintenance, and annihilation. He creates by engaging a father to beget a son. He maintains by engaging a government or a king to see to the public's welfare. And he annihilates through agents for killing, such as snakes. This goes, I mean, in the purport, Prabhupada says, no one can independently create, maintain, or annihilate. Therefore, says, Prakriti Kriyamani Gunakarmani Sarvasyaha Ahankara Vimudata Kartaram iti manyate. Kartaham iti manyate. So, to think that we are independent creators or independent maintainers or even independent destroyers, to think that we are doing all by ourselves is ahankaram vimudha. Vimudha. Mudha means foolishness. Vimudha means illusion. To think like that is, he is bewildered. Kartaham iti manyate. He is manyate, to think or having the opinion like this, that I am the doer, is a sense of bewilderment. Prabhupada writes further, as an agent of the Supreme Doer, the Supreme Lord, one should abide by Lord's orders. The present chaotic conditions of the world are due to the ignorance of leaders who forget that they have been appointed to act by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, if someone takes up a position, if someone becomes a leader, it's not just, okay, he is a chosen, he is also um, appointed or granted. Yeah, granted. The Lord is granting him that he can become a leader. Uh, but it shouldn't be that, okay, now I am a leader because of myself, then immediately he loses his position. Because it says, because they have been appointed by the Lord, their duty is to consult the Lord and act accordingly. So a leader should be very careful in whether it is a mundane for politics of maintaining a government or maintaining a temple or maintaining an organization, doesn't matter. A leader should be very careful that what he does is in line with the plans of the Lord. The book for consultation, what is the book? Bhagavad Gita, in which the Supreme Lord gives directions. Therefore, those who are engaged in creation, maintenance, and annihilation should consult the Supreme Person who has appointed them and should act accordingly. Then everything will be satisfied and there will be no disturbances. So, ideally, a leader should be a devotee. A devotee, again, not any kind of devotee, but a devotee who has taken shelter of Bhagavad Gita, because the Lord is giving all instructions. He is guiding Arjuna in the battlefield how to lead the army, how to establish dharma. So a leader's position is to maintain dharma. Leader's position is to maintain dharma so that the bhakti, which is paradharma, Krishna is saying sarva dharma, of all the dharma, sarva dharma parityancha, give up all those dharmas. Uh, Mamekam sharanam raja, take shelter of me. Hmm? So that is the topmost. So leaders should always help citizens to understand this. देहिना देहिनो राजन देहा देहा भी जायते बीजाद एव यथा बीजम देहि अर्थ इव शाश्वतः. Ah, as from one seed another seed is generated, O king, from one body through another body a third body is generated. As the elements of material body are eternal, the living entity who appears through these material elements is also eternal. Hmm? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, there is never a time that you cease to exist or I cease to exist. So the Lord is eternally present, we are also eternally present. And Lord also says that in the future, there is no question of merging. It's not that tomorrow, when we become good friends, we unite and then we become one. No, in the future also that is not the case. In the purport, Prabhupada says, since the spiritual energy, the living entity, the living being who is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, desires to enjoy this material world, the Lord gives him a chance to accept a different types of material bodies and enjoy or suffer in different material conditions. Factually, the spiritual energy, the living entity who desires to enjoy material things, is manipulated by the Supreme Lord. The so-called father and mother have nothing to do with the living entity. As a result of his own choice and karma, the living being takes different bodies through the agency of so-called fathers and mothers. देहा देहि विभागोऽयम् अविवेक कृतः पुरा जाति व्यक्ति विभागोऽयं यथा वस्तुनि कल्पितः. Kalpita means imagined. What is that imagined? Divisions of generalization and specification, such as nationality and individuality, are the imaginations of persons who are not advanced in knowledge. With true knowledge, we can understand that every being, he is not an American, he is not an Indian, he is not a Russian, he is not a German. Every being is servant of the Lord, is part and parcel of the Lord. Doesn't matter which nationality, community, society, species, and so on. After this, Sri Sukha Vacha. Evam aswasito raja chitraketu dvijoktibihi vimrajya panina vaktram adi mlanam abhashata. And Shukadeva Goswami continued. Thus, enlightened by the instructions of Narada and Angira, King Chitraketu became hopeful with knowledge. Wiping his shriveled face with his hand, the king began to speak. And the king started saying, "You have both come here dressed like avadutas, liberated person, just to cover your identities. But I see that of all men, you are the most elevated in awareness. You know everything as it is, therefore. So it is very important to be in the sight of this kind of situations because somehow the reality of a person who has lost, his child or his father or mother or son, whoever, his whole belief system will be uh, shaken uh, for a moment, because whatever he was thinking reality, whatever he thinks is everything permanent, whatever he thinks is steady and stable, everything gets shaken up for a moment. And and then at the time to have someone who has come, in this case, the Lord blessed Chitraketu by sending Narada Muni, Angira Rishi. They came. चरन्ति अवनौ कामान् ब्राह्मणा भगवत् प्रिया मादृशां ग्राम्य बुद्धीनां बोधायोन्मत्त लिंगिनः. Uh, you appear to be Brahmanas who are exalted in position of Vaishnavas, the most dear servants of Krishna, sometimes dressed like what? Unmatta linginaha, dressed like a madman. Uh, he's saying these Vaishnavas wander on the surface of globe according to their desire. कुमारो नारद ऋभुर अंगीर देवलो स्थित असितः अपांतरात् अपांतर तमा व्यासो मार्कंडेयोऽथ गौतमः वसिष्ठ भगवान राम कपिला बादरायण दूर्वास यज्ञवल्क्यश्च जातुकर्णस्तथारुणिः रोमसश्चवनो दत्ता आसुरी सपतंजलि सपतांजलि ऋषिर्वेदशिरा दौम्यो मुनि पंचशिखस्तथा हिरण्यभागा कौसल्यः श्रुतदेव ऋतध्वजः एते परे च सिद्धेशास् चरन्ति ज्ञानहेतवः. So all these things I have heard that among the great and perfect persons wandering on the surface of the earth to instruct knowledge to people covered by ignorance are these people. Purport Prabhupada says the word Jnana Hetava is very significant because great personalities like those listed in the verse wander on the surface of globe not to mislead the populace but to distribute real knowledge. Uh, so it is very important in the world where everything is available to divert sincere souls away from their sincere efforts to uh, go back to Godhead. There are so many distractions. Yeah, every now and then there is so many everything with the hand is in the hand. mm, we are able to be taken away to anything. There is no end to think about. One may just think and it's already there in the handy. So yeah, that's why it's very, very important to understand who is the right acharya, and approach him. Be fixed without any deviation, full confidence. huh? Serve him with full humility. Uh, inquire, and then one's life is successful. Yeah. In the purport, Prabhupada mentioned the acharyas mentioned in these verses are described in Mahabharata. The word Panchashika is also important. Hmm? Panchashika means one who is liberated from the conceptions of Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya, and who is perfectly aware of subtle covering of the soul is called Panchashikha. Um, I don't know when did it come. We were talking about someone were asking why Shika. I think yeah, during the Vaishnava etiquette seminar. Yeah. So here, according to the statements of Mahabharata Shanti Parva, an Acharya named Panchashika took birth in the family of Maharaj Janaka, the ruler of Mithila. The Sankhya philosophers accept Panchashikhacharya as one of them. Real knowledge pertains to living entity dwelling within the body. Unfortunately, because of ignorance, the living entity identifies himself with the body and therefore feels pleasure and pain. तस्मादिवां ग्राम्य पशोर मम मूढ़ा दियः प्रभु अंधे तमसि मग्नस्य ज्ञानदीप उदीर्यताम्. Because you are a great personality, because you are great personalities, you can give me real knowledge. I am what Gramya Pasho. I am as foolish as a village animal like pig or a dog because I am merged in darkness of ignorance. Therefore, what should be ignited? Magnasya Jnana Deepa Udiryatam. Please ignite. Therefore, please ignite the torch of knowledge to save me. Hmm. So then Angira Rishi said, Aham te putra kamasya putrado asmi Angira nripa esha brahma sutta sakshan narado bhagavan Rishi. Hmm? Angira said, my dear king, when you desired to have a son, I approached you. Indeed, I am the same Angira Rishi who gave you this son. For as for this Rishi, he is great sage Narada, the direct son of Brahma. इत्थं त्वां पुत्रशोकेन मग्नं तमसि दुस्तरे तदर्हं अनुस्मृत्य महापुरुषगोचरम् अनुग्रहाय भवतः प्राप्ताव आवाम इह प्रभो ब्रह्मण्यो भगवद्भक्तो नावासी नावासादितुम् अर्हसि. My dear king, you are an advanced devotee of the Supreme Lord. To be absorbed in lamentation for the loss of something material is unsuitable for a person like you. Hmm. So he's saying for those who are advanced in spiritual knowledge, to be affected by material loss and gain is not at all desirable. Hmm. So Srila Narottam Das Thakur, that's why praise Tandera Charana Seva Bhaktasane Vas Janame Janame Hai E Abhilash. A devotee should always aspire to live in the association of advanced devotees and engage in the service of the Lord through the Parampara system. One should serve the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through the instructions of great Goswamis of Vrindavan. This is called Tandera Charana Sevi. While serving the lotus feet of the Goswamis, one should live in the association of devotees. Bhakta Asane Vas. This is the business of a devotee. The devotee should not aspire for material profit or lament for material loss. When Angira Rishi and Narada saw that Maharaj Chitraketu, an advanced devotee, had fallen in the darkness of ignorance and was lamenting for the material body of his son, by their causeless mercy they came to advise him so that he could be saved from this ignorance. Of course, we don't have to be so great like Narada Muni or Angira Rishi to do this. Hmm. It's always uh, at the interest of the person who is in this situation to take him out and guide him properly. Anyone can preach if an opportunity comes to help to to guide such people who are struggling to understand the reality to come out to, to face the reality. Another significant word is Brahmanya. The Supreme Personality of God is sometimes addressed by the prayer Namo Brahmanya Devaya, which offers obeisances unto Lord because he is served by the devotees. Therefore, this verse states Brahmanyo Bhagavad Bhakto Nava Saditum Arhasi. This is the symptom of an advanced devotee. Hmm? What is that? Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma for a devotee, an advanced, self-realized soul, there is no cause for material jubilation or lamentation. He is always transcendental to conditional life. Tadeva te param jnanam dadami grahyam agataha gnatvanyaabhi nivesham te putram eva dadamyaham. When I first came to your home, I could have given you the supreme transcendental knowledge. But when I saw that your mind was absorbed in material things, I gave you only a son who caused you jubilation and lamentation. So, sometimes when we are absorbed in material achievements, we want to achieve that, we want to get this, we are always running behind material things. Then the sadhus also, they say, yeah, okay, let's not waste time, because he is not able to take the instructions, he's not able to take the message of Lord. Hmm. Yeah, so that's why he's saying, okay, what would make you know in a different way is by getting a son who can be happiness, but also, can cause you lamentation. Adhuna putranam tapo bhavataivanubhuyate evam dhara griha rayo vividhaishvarya sampada shabdhadayascha vishayas chala rajya विभूतया महीराज्यं बलकोशो भृत्यात्मया सुहृज्जना सर्वेपि सुरा सेने में शोकमोह भयार्तिता गंधर्वनगर प्रख्या स्वप्नमाया मनोरथाः. Saying this, he's saying, my dear king, now you are actually experiencing the misery of a person who has sons and daughters. A king, O king, owner of the state of Surasena, one's wife, his house, the opulence of his kingdom, and his various other opulences and objects of sense perceptions are all the same in that they are temporary. One's kingdom, military power, treasury, servants, ministers, friends, and relatives are all cause of fear, illusion, lamentation, and distress. They are like a Gandharva Nagara, a non existent palace that one imagines to exist in the forest. Because they are impermanent, they are not no better than illusions, dreams, and mental concoctions. So, in the purport, Prabhupada is saying a sane man should be perfectly aware that these things will never be able to give him happiness. One must be situated in the his spiritual identity and eternally serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a devotee. Angira Rishi and Narada Muni gave this instruction to Maharaj Chitraketu. Drishyamana vinarthena na drishyante manobhava मनोभवाः कर्मभिर्ध्यायतो नाना कर्माणि मनसो अभवन appear. These visible objects like wife, children, and property are like the dreams and mental concoctions. Actually, what we see has no permanent existence. It is sometimes seen and sometimes not. Only because of our past action do we create such mental concoctions, and because of these concoctions we perform further activities. In the purport, Prabhupada refers, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes as follows: Arthena Vyagra Sarpadina Vinaiva Drishyamana Swapnadi Pange Satina Drishyante Tad Evam Daradayo Avastava Vastu Bhuta Swapnadayo Avastu Bhutas Cha Sarve Manobhava Manovasana Janyatvan Manobhava. This is a situation. At night, one dreams of tigers and snakes. Swapne. Vyagra. Vyagra means tiger. Arthena. What is the meaning is Vyagra Sarpadina, snake. Vinaiva Drishyamana Swapnadi Bhange. And while dreaming, he actually sees them. But as soon as Bhange, when the dream is gone, Sati na drishyante tad evam daradayo avastava vastu bhuta swapnadayo vastu bhuta cha sarve manobhava. It's all at mind level. He says, while dreaming, he actually sees them, but as soon as the dream is broken, they no longer exist. Similarly, The material world is a creation of our mental concoction. We have come to this material world to enjoy material resources, and by mental concoction, we discover many objects of enjoyment because our minds are absorbed in material things. This is why we receive various bodies. And Prabhupada says, thus we become more and more involved in material concoctions. This is the reason for our suffering in the material world. By one kind of activity, we create another, and they are all products of our mental concoction. अयमे देहिनो देहो द्रव्यज्ञान क्रियात्मकः देहिनो विविध क्लेश संतापकृत उदाहृतः. The living entity in the bodily conception of life is absorbed in the body, which is a combination of physical elements, the five senses for gathering knowledge, and the five senses of action, along with the mind. Through the mind, the living entity suffers three kinds of tribulations: Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika. Therefore, this body is the source of all material miseries. Hmm? And that's why Tasmat, therefore, Tasmat Svastena Manasa Vimrishya Gatim Atmanaha Dvaite Dhruvartha Vishrambham Tyajopa Samam Avasa. What do you have to do now? Therefore, King, carefully consider the position of Atma. In other words, try to understand who you are, whether body, mind, or soul. Consider where you have come from. Where are you going after giving up this body, and why you are under the control of material lamentation? Try to understand your real position in this way, and then you will be able to give up your unnecessary attachment. You will also be able to give up the belief that this material world or anything not directly in touch with the service to Krishna is eternal. Thus, you will obtain peace. And then, and after that, Sri Narada Vacha, Etam mantropanishadam praticha prayato mama yam dharayan sapta ratra drishta sankarshanam vibhu. So this way Narada Muni is saying, my dear king, attentively receive from me a mantra which is most auspicious. After accepting it from me, in 7 nights you will be able to see the Lord face to face. Yat padamulam upasritya narendra purve sarvadayo brahmam ima dvitayam visrajya sadhyam tadiyam atulanadikam mahitvam prapur bhavan api param na chirad upaiti. My dear king, in 4 more days, Lord Shiva and other demigods took shelter of the Lord, of the lotus feet of Sankarshana. Thus, they immediately got free from the illusion of duality and achieved unequaled and unsurpassed glories in the spiritual life. You will very soon attain that same position. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Someone have any thoughts to share? In fact, these are nice chapters to give us a reality, to help us do a reality check. What is our thought process? What are we prioritizing? What do we want to do? Are we able to still come out of the fifth sense that, oh, I am not this body? Are we still thinking I am this body? What will happen? What are the great acharyas tell? And those instructions are also instructions to help us, to guide us. Hare Krishna. Good. Then we'll continue the conversation between Narad Muni and Chitraketu. And not only that, the conversation between his own son, Harshashoka, because Narad Muni will bring him back to life. And then we will see what is the instructions, conversation between the father and son, and what happens thereafter. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद। हरे कृष्ण।